My daughter went to the amusement park with my husband. Suddenly, her smartwatch triggered an SOS emergency call. In 39-degree scorching heat, my 5-year-old was locked in the car, barely clinging to life. My husband was nowhere to be seen. Yet just a short while before, his sister-in-law had posted online. So touching. Closer than blood relatives. The accompanying photo showed him carrying her little nephew into the amusement park, all smiles. I rushed to rescue my daughter. But my husband shielded his sister-in-law and her child, glaring at me angrily. "It's Jim's birthday today. Was it too much to ask me to be his dad for just one day? I couldn't have helped with the rescue anyway. They're not feeling well, so I'm taking them for a checkup first." "Mommy, it's hot." My daughter looked like she'd been fished out of water, drenched in sweat. She managed only a few words before the image shook violently. I recognized immediately that she was in my husband's car. A chill shot straight to my brain. I dropped the contract I was negotiating, grabbed my bag, and bolted out the door. "Ina, Mommy's coming right away, right away." The companion app for the smartwatch was going crazy, sending endless text messages and pop-up alerts. On the other end, my daughter struggled to kneel up, pounding on the car window before collapsing again. "So sleepy, Mommy." "Ina, don't you dare fall asleep, be good, wait for Mommy." Her grape-like eyes narrowed into slits, her lips pale and cracked. The scorching sun beat down on her tiny body. Yet she managed a faint smile and whispered a barely audible okay. 30-something floors, I couldn't even tell if waiting for the elevator or running down the stairs would be faster. Suddenly, a large hand grabbed me from behind. "Give me the location and license plate number, I'll call the police." It was Sean, who'd just been negotiating the contract with me. Without waiting for a response, he snatched my phone. "Police will be here within 5 minutes, and the ambulance should be about the same. You're in no condition to drive, I'll take you, it's not far. Call the car owner to confirm the exact parking spot and minimize rescue time." I nodded frantically. The entire way, I kept redialing Jax's number obsessively. All I got in response were the endless tones of unanswered calls. I kept talking to my daughter. But the video feed remained completely still. Only after calling her name repeatedly did she manage to respond with 1 or 2 words. Until the police video called Sean. "Have you reached the car owner?" "No. The amusement park's vehicle locator system shows no record of that license plate, search nearby parking lots." Many people were rushing around for my daughter. The park's PA system kept broadcasting Jax's name. Still, he never appeared. I clicked into his sister-in-law Sunny's social media post. There it was, an update from half an hour ago. Him carrying his little nephew into the amusement park, all smiles. Caption, "So touching. Treats him better than his own child." The parking lot, we finally arrived. I stumbled toward the police and ambulance, only to see my daughter being carried into the ambulance and driven away from a distance. Her delicate pink arm hung limply by her side, completely still. My vision darkened, and my legs turned weak as noodles. Just as someone caught me from collapsing, I heard the officer say, "Did you call this in? The child's heartbeat has been temporarily restored." Only temporarily? Images of the various harms extreme heat inside a car could inflict on a human body flashed relentlessly through my mind. I turned and ran back toward the car, only for Jax, who had been missing for so long, to appear. "Lily, just because I didn't answer your calls, you called the police, had the whole amusement park paged, and even smashed the car?" He was holding the hand of his 6-year-old nephew, with the impeccably made-up Sunny standing beside them. They looked like a picture-perfect family of 3, blocking my path. I tried to step around him, but he grabbed my wrist. "Weren't you looking for me? Why are you running away now?" I lifted my foot and kicked him where it hurt most. "Get lost." He doubled over, veins throbbing on his forehead, but his grip on my wrist only tightened. "It's Jim's birthday today, I just brought him to the amusement park for fun. I didn't tell you because I knew you'd make a scene. But I never imagined you'd go this crazy." Shouldn't there be limits to your tantrums? His little nephew, who had been holding his hand, seized the chance to punch me twice, yelling, "Bad woman. Don't hit my dad." Sonny pulled the nephew behind him and told him to shut up. Then he turned to apologize to me. "Lily, kids say whatever comes to mind, don't take it the wrong way." His birthday wish was to have his dad take him to the amusement park. Jax just softened up and agreed to let him call him dad for the day. 3 people, 1 chaotic drama. Their overlapping voices tangled together, grating on my nerves until I wanted to pull a knife. "Get lost. I don't have time for your nonsense." I shoved Jax hard. At the same time, Sean grabbed his hand and flung it away. "Take your questions to the police." "Lily, get in the car." The officer nearby finally stepped in front to stop him. I got into the car but could still hear him demanding Sean's identity. The hospital was bustling with people. I asked countless doctors and nurses, yet no one could tell me whether my daughter in the emergency room was safe. Every second felt like I was being scorched by flames. Suddenly, a pack of tissues appeared before me. Dazed, I turned my head slightly. Sean held them out further. "The specialist will be here soon." Only then did I realize my tears had smeared my makeup. "Thank you. If it weren't for your help today, I would have wasted even more time." "Let's sign the contract as you proposed." Mentioning the contract made me blame myself over and over. If only I hadn't gone out for business today, leaving my daughter with Jax, or if I had stayed with her. She would still be healthy now, spared from any suffering. I pressed the tissues against my eyes. Sean sat down beside me, deliberately leaving an empty space between us. "You're welcome. It's hard for any parent to stay calm in this situation, don't blame yourself. The contract can follow the compromise solution. I'll have someone contact your project manager." I nodded absently, my eyes fixed on the emergency room door before chasing after the specialist, pacing anxiously by the entrance. I don't know how much time passed before Jax arrived with Sunny and her son. "Lily, how's Ina?" I looked up to see the anxiety on his face, and slapped him across the cheek. "How dare you ask? Ina doesn't need your concern. Go play daddy to someone else. Stop cluttering my sight." He didn't dodge. A red mark bloomed rapidly across his face as he pleaded urgently. "Ina fell asleep in the car, there was air conditioning and water, no one could have predicted this would happen. I just wanted to take Jim on a roller coaster ride, he's never been on one his whole life. It should have taken just minutes, who knew weekend queues would be this long?" Sunny shielded Jim behind her, murmuring apologies and repeating that children don't understand consequences. My gaze swept over them. Jax lost his father early, and his mother passed away from illness just as he entered university, so his elder brother became like a father to him. His brother was a good man, highly respectable. When Jax told me he wanted to repay his brother properly, I fully supported it. Unfortunately, his brother passed away unexpectedly last year. After he promised to take care of Sunny and her child, and bought another house in our neighborhood, everything seemed to take a wrong turn. At first, when Sunny fell ill or the child had minor ailments, he was busy running around helping. Later, he was always there to change light bulbs or move heavy things at their place. More and more time that belonged to me and our daughter was sacrificed. Our arguments gradually increased. 3 years of dating and 7 years of marriage turned into a mess. And now, he's even playing father to someone else's child, putting our daughter in danger. "Jax, can we get a divorce?" He stared at me wide-eyed, bringing up divorce again. "Lately, every time we argue, you mention divorce. Is this fun for you? What happened to Ina wasn't something I wanted either, she's my own daughter, how could I not be heartbroken? I admit it's all my fault today, but could you stop arguing first and just tell me how Ina is doing?" I smiled bitterly. My vision was blurred by tears, making it hard to see him clearly. At first, I brought up divorce hoping you'd change, but later I genuinely wanted out, though sometimes I made peace with myself again. I hate myself for not holding firm, otherwise Ina wouldn't be lying in a hospital today. My voice suddenly choked up. The finger pointing toward the emergency room trembled. I ground my teeth and demanded, with all your years of driving experience, didn't you know the air conditioning would turn off if the car stalled? Jax hung his head, lips pressed tightly together without a word. Sunny's eyes reddened instead. She pushed her nephew forward from behind her. Lily, it's all this naughty child's fault. He went back to the car to get water after getting out and pulled the keys out on a whim. It's my fault for not teaching him well, and for being careless enough not to notice, which led to this situation. Don't blame Jax, and don't mention divorce again, okay? Once I see Ina is safe, I'll take Jim far away and never disturb your lives again. As she spoke, she forced her nephew to bow with her. It seemed they wouldn't rise unless I gave my word. The panic of losing my daughter instantly turned into boundless rage, and I shoved Sunny hard. Did Jim eat the car keys or simply lose them, making it impossible for any of you to notice? Sunny, stop with the crocodile tears. The keys were in your hands, this is murder. Wait for the police to file the case. She clung to her son and collapsed to the ground. Mother and son wept together. Jax hurriedly reached out to help them up, then glared at me furiously. Jim's only 6, what does he know? What's done is done. If you want to vent your anger, take it out on me. What's the point of blaming a child? I pulled out my phone, opened Sunny's post, and shoved it right in his face. Am I the one making a fuss over a child? Open your damn eyes and take a good look. If I'm not mistaken, you got the key from Sunny when you left the amusement park, didn't you? In the corner of that father-son photo, Sunny's hand was just visible. The lucky charm hanging from the car key dangled midair. This wasn't the first time Sunny had provoked me with a post. But it was Jax's first time seeing it, and he turned his head in surprise. Sunny cried pitifully, her tears falling like pear blossoms in the rain, and explained softly, it's all my fault for being so stupid and ignorant. I don't even have a driver's license, so I didn't know the AC would turn off if you took out the key. Her words were full of contradictions compared to what she'd said earlier. Yet Jax would believe her. He took a couple of awkward steps toward me. All right, we're all family here. Can you stop making a scene? Sunny didn't have many good days with my brother before, so it's understandable she doesn't know these things. I get that you're upset, but what's done is done. The most important thing is that Ina's okay. I avoided his outstretched hand. Suddenly, the door nearby swung open. The medical staff finally emerged and updated us on my daughter's condition. The resuscitation was timely, and the child has regained spontaneous heartbeat. Her body temperature has also begun to drop. She's been transferred through the emergency channel to intensive care for precise monitoring and treatment. We'll notify you shortly so you can see her through the glass. A silver lining in this misfortune. I thanked them repeatedly before sinking back into the agonizing weight. I watched coldly as Jax quietly persuaded Sunny to go home, citing concern for his hungry nephew. Sunny then fretted over his dinner arrangements, promising to bring food later that evening. I texted my lawyer, draft a divorce agreement for me as soon as possible. Sean, who had been keeping to himself, stood up and said, Lily, I have some connections with the director of this hospital. Feel free to call me if you need anything. I'll take my leave now. I was deeply grateful, but beyond thanks, words failed me. Jack suddenly darkened his expression and sneered at him, who the hell are you? Why are you meddling with my wife and child? Unfortunately, Sean didn't even spare him a glance, slipping one hand into his pocket as he walked away coolly. Then Jack darted in front of me, pointing at the retreating figure and shouting accusingly. Who is that man? Why does he look so familiar? You were with him this afternoon, and he stayed until now before leaving. Does he have some ulterior motive toward you? Lily, are you listening? Stay away from him. I don't like him. I just kept my head down, staring at my phone, going over the details of the divorce agreement with my lawyer. Make the revisions, print it out, and bring it to the hospital. After sending my location to the lawyer, Jax was still yelling. I glanced up at him and said, at the critical moment, you were busy playing daddy to someone else's kid. What right do you have to raise your voice now? His lips trembled slightly, but he didn't argue back. The clock ticked. Finally, the medical staff informed me I could see my daughter. Pressed against the ICU glass, I saw a tiny figure lying at the center of various connected machines. Just hours ago, she had been video calling me, bouncing with excitement as she said, "Mommy, Daddy's taking me to the amusement park, I'm so happy." But now, an ice cap covered her head for continuous cooling, her small face mostly obscured by an oxygen mask, her eyes tightly shut. I wanted to see her clearly, to go in and stay with her, but I couldn't. Soon, a nurse led me away, back to the waiting area. Jack suddenly sat beside me. "Lily, I'm sorry. I didn't know this would happen." I turned and lunged at him, clawing and hitting. Like a madwoman, I poured all my fear and rage onto him. "Jax. Lily, stop it." Sunny, holding a thermal lunchbox, pulled her son aside and shouted. I stood up and slapped her across the face. Snatching the thermal container, I hurled it at Jax. Jax, who hadn't resisted until now, suddenly jumped up to shield the mother and child. Raising his hand, he slapped me back. "Are you sober now? Lily, no matter how much you care for Ina, there's no need to vent your anger on everyone." I bit my lower lip until it bled. The metallic taste of blood spread in my mouth. Turning my head, I saw Jax examining Sunny's face before bending down to comfort his nephew. Meeting my gaze, Sunny clutched Jax's sleeve as tears streamed down her face. "Don't blame Lily. It's Jim and I who harmed Ina. She has every right to hit and scold me." I walked up to the lawyer who had just arrived. Taking the divorce papers, I thrust them before Jax. "Sign it. No one will disturb your happy family of 3 anymore." Jax furrowed his brows and locked eyes with me. "Are you serious? Fine. Don't regret it." He then snatched the agreement, signed it without even glancing at it, and flung it back at me. Sunny tugged at him, pleading, "Lily loves you so much, she wouldn't want a divorce. Just swallow your pride and apologize to her." He scoffed coldly, "If I give in to her again, she'll think she owns the sky. That nasty temper of hers needs to be tamed. If she doesn't learn her lesson this time, I won't forgive her." Suddenly, a nurse rushed over. "Ina's condition has taken a turn, she's in critical care now, it's urgent." I leaped up from the bench, only to collapse back onto it. Sunny let out a gasp. "Jim. Jax, Jim has fainted, what do we do?" Jax scooped up his nephew in panic. As he turned to leave, he shot me a hurried explanation. "Ina's in the ICU, there's nothing I can do here. I'll take Jim for a checkup and come right back." Before the words had even finished, he was already gone. He hadn't noticed at all that his unconscious nephew was gripping his shirt tightly. With trembling hands, I signed various consent forms and handed them to the nurse. Suddenly, my phone rang. Sean's name flashed on the screen. At 3 in the morning, he was like a ray of dawn. "The specialists recommend an immediate transfer for treatment. The helicopter will be here in 3 minutes, get to the rooftop now." Jax carried his nephew through one test after another, his heart also aching with worry for his daughter. But Sunny was right, if their daughter hadn't been out of danger, Lily would have called by now. After the nephew's tests confirmed he was fine, the first light of dawn had already appeared in the east. He rushed back to the waiting area, then searched through the ICU again, only to freeze in shock, frantic with panic. "I'm Ina's father, how is she doing now? And Lily?" "Ina's mother, she was here waiting last night." Jax grabbed every medical staff member he saw, firing questions at them. But no one could tell where Lily had gone, nor whether their daughter was out of danger. The only answer he got was "I don't know." All his assumptions crumbled, and Jax's legs trembled with nervousness. He frantically pulled out his phone, thinking he might have missed Lily's messages. But there were no calls or texts. The record still stopped at the previous day, the time their daughter had been trapped in the car. He dialed back those 33 missed calls. Yet all he heard was the same cold, automated response: "The number you have dialed cannot be reached for the moment. Sending a message only triggered a notification, message sent, but rejected by the recipient." Jax's heart began to ache. In their 10 years together, Lily had always responded to him without fail. Even when she stormed out in anger, she would wait downstairs for him to coax her back home. Because they had promised each other, no matter how furious they were, they would never give each other the silent treatment or make themselves unreachable. He kept calling Lily's phone, pacing around in anxiety. Sunny, holding her nephew's hand, patted his shoulder. "Jax, don't panic. You know Lily has a temper, she's probably still giving you the cold shoulder. Maybe she'll reach out to you later." At that moment, a nurse was putting up posters in the hallway. A bold headline read, "Hot weather alert, never leave children in cars." Comic illustrations and lists of dangers filled the pages, each detail piercing Jax's heart. Only then did he realize what his daughter had endured the day before. His eyes swept to the bottom of the poster, and his body swayed unsteadily. A belated realization struck him: his and Lily's daughter could have actually died because of this. That tiny, soft little girl was the apple of his eye too. He pushed past Sunny and her son, staggering as he sprinted toward the morgue. His heart pleaded silently that his daughter wouldn't be there. But beneath a white sheet, a small body lay motionless on the cold slab. He didn't even glance at who was around him as he lunged forward to tear off that white sheet. A heavy punch landed on his face, yet he just kept smiling at the face beneath the cloth. This provoked the family members to swarm him, kicking and punching while cursing him as a madman. It wasn't until Sunny and his nephew rushed over to help him up. "Jax, you really don't need to be so nervous, Ina must be fine. Think about it, Lily treasures Ina so much. If Ina were truly in danger, how could Lily possibly stay silent? Didn't that man yesterday say he knows both the hospital director and specialists? Maybe the whole emergency treatment was staged deliberately to make you panic and regret." Hearing this, Jax's frantic heart found some comfort. Lily must have been furious, she'd even brought divorce papers for him to sign. It wouldn't be strange for her to pull such stunts. Seeing Jax's expression soften slightly, Sunny's eyes darted shrewdly as she nudged her son. Jim immediately grabbed Jax's sleeve. "Daddy, I'm scared. And so hungry." Looking into those eyes that were just like his brother's, Jax's heart softened. He picked Jim up and headed toward the elevator. "Jim, I'm your uncle. We agreed yesterday that I'd just play with you for a while. You can't keep calling me the wrong thing from now on." Sunny gave him another look. Jim clung to Jax's neck and cried, "Everyone says I'm a kid without a dad. Can't you really be my daddy?" Jax pressed his lips together. For the first time, he steeled himself to refuse. "No, you have your own father." Sunny gently explained to Jim and apologized to Jax. But Jax was distracted. As they passed the nurse's station, he overheard someone discussing, "That little girl is so lucky, she's got a filthy rich stepdad who arranged a helicopter transfer for her hospital move. Not her real dad. Yesterday her mom was arguing badly with some guy, they're getting divorced. Yeah, her real father's a complete monster." Jax wanted to explain that he wasn't that despicable. But he couldn't find any justification that would hold water. He lowered his head and hurried past. Jim in his arms cried out in pain, and only then did he notice his own hand clenched so tightly that veins bulged. Sunny tugged at him. "Did you hear? Lily transferred Ina to another hospital. If Ina's condition was truly critical, they wouldn't have been able to transfer her so casually. Wasn't that the man from yesterday who took them away by helicopter? He seemed very concerned about them. Could they have known each other before?" Like a cat whose tail had been stepped on, Jax whirled around to glare at her. "Lily would never betray me." But he quickly comforted himself, believing only what he wanted to believe. "Still, your reasoning isn't entirely without merit. Ina must have improved, and Lily deliberately arranged for someone to transfer her just to provoke me. Given her temper, she'll probably hold out until tomorrow at most before contacting me again." He took Sunny and her child back to the neighborhood before returning home alone. The cozy house looked no different than usual. So he told himself, Lily had always forgiven him after every argument before, and this time would be no exception. After a quick shower, the unease in his heart refused to subside. He kept calling Lily's number until he fell asleep. In his dream, Lily clung to his neck, coquettishly. Every night she nestled in his arms like a little bird, sleeping peacefully. The scene shifted abruptly. Lily was now in tears, arguing with him. She slapped him and threw the divorce papers at him. Suddenly, Jax heard footsteps in the house. His eyes snapped open. "Lily, you're back." But it was Sunny by his bedside, wearing a low-cut camisole. Seeing him awake, she placed a bowl on the nightstand and sat beside him. "Jax, eat something before you go back to sleep. You haven't had anything since yesterday." He yanked the blanket over his boxer-clad body, startled by Sunny's overstepping. "How did you get in?" "Get out," he barked. Sunny swayed her hips as she left. His gaze grew distant, fragments of the dream replaying in his mind. Lily used to be gentle and sweet, her words as soothing as a breeze. When did she change? Now her words sting, and she snaps at him constantly. Recalling their arguments, he realizes Sunny was somehow involved in every one. After his brother's death, he bought the apartment across the hall and took Sunny and her child under his wing. They became dependent on him, constantly needing help with every little thing. Nearly every day, he had to sacrifice over half his personal time for them. There were even several occasions when intimate moments with Lily were interrupted by Sunny's phone calls. He'd assumed Lily was just being jealous and immature. But now, putting himself in her shoes, he sees how terribly wrong he was, choosing Sunny and her child over Lily and their daughter again and again. He slapped himself across the face. Though reluctant to admit it, he'd secretly enjoyed this ambiguous, guilt-tinged relationship with Sunny. His phone suddenly rang, shattering his thoughts. The secretary's voice was brimming with excitement. "Mr. Jax, Sean, the one at the top of the wealth rankings, he had someone reach out to us. Check your phone, quick." "Sean?" That flicker of familiarity from yesterday finally clicked in Jax's mind. So, it was Sean who had taken Lily and his daughter. The very man he had repeatedly sought meetings with, only to scrape up business from the crumbs left in his wake. How could Jax possibly compete if someone like that took Lily under his wing? But the moment the thought surfaced, he immediately dismissed it. Lily loved him, their 10 years together couldn't just be cast aside. Jax regained his confidence and clicked open the video Sean had sent. To his surprise, it was footage from Sean's car dashcam. The recording clearly showed Sunny slipping sleeping pills into his daughter's drink in the water and then pointing out the car keys to Jim. That explained why his daughter had fallen asleep in the car, allowing Jim to take the keys and cause the engine to shut down, leading to the overheating. Jax was seething with rage. He immediately forwarded the video to his lawyer. "Sue Sunny for attempted murder," he snapped, pulling on his clothes as he stormed toward the door. But Sunny stood in the hallway, grabbing his sleeve the moment she saw him. "Jax, where are you going? Jim and I are so worried about you." "Did Lily contact you?" Sunny asked aloud, though inwardly she cursed Lily to hell. That woman just wouldn't disappear, clinging to Jax even when her daughter was dying. She was the one who truly loved Jax, the only one who understood him. Lily wasn't even fit to be his wife. But the next second, Jax shoved her away. A sharp slap sent her sprawling to the floor. "Cut the fake concern. I took you and your son in out of respect for my brother, but you've gone too far, hurting Lily and Ina over and over. You'll spend the rest of your life behind bars." "And your son?" "I'm sending him to an orphanage." Sunny stared at him in disbelief. Just then, Jim rushed out from across the hall, clinging to Jax's leg and sobbing, "Uncle, are you abandoning me and Mom?" He pushed away the hand on his leg and said coldly, "You and your son should know exactly what you did yesterday. The bond between me and my brother has been exhausted by you." Sunny suddenly laughed again. "Jax, who are you trying to fool with this act of righteousness now? Don't you remember licking me when you were drunk, burying your face in my chest when you were depressed? Everything but going all the way. You've already done all the things you shouldn't have with me behind Lily's back. What's wrong with me wanting to drive Lily and her daughter away and have you be a father to my son?" Disgusting images flashed through Jax's mind. He couldn't bear to face them. Furious and humiliated, he kicked Sunny away and ran. But her shrill voice chased after him, "Jax, Lily must have given up on you by now. The man who's taking her in is 1,000 times better than you, why would she ever choose you again?" He ran as fast as he could, desperately comforting himself. Lily was just angry, just trying to make him taste what it felt like to lose her. If he made it up to her, apologized properly, she would surely bring their daughter back to him. With this conviction, he searched tirelessly, hospital after hospital. Whether it was a renowned major hospital or a remote small clinic, he left no stone unturned. I sat by my daughter's hospital bed. Watching her rosy sleeping face, I was overcome with joy and tears once again. After 5 days of treatment and monitoring, she had finally emerged from the ICU and regained consciousness. After 2 more days in the sweet ward, she had stabilized considerably. Remembering how the specialists had repeatedly said how fortunate and timely it was, I felt immensely grateful to Sean. "Mr. Sean, words cannot express my gratitude, I'll remember this forever." The Sean across from me smiled warmly, nothing like the cold, decisive figure of legend. "Seems like there are some things you'll never remember unless I tell you." His eyes seemed to hold countless emotions, making me afraid to look any longer. These past days, he had helped care for and accompany my daughter. He draped clothes over me at night and brought me varied meals at every turn. I've been restraining myself from thinking elsewhere. Now, it seems some balance is about to be broken, and I'm very nervous. He suddenly grabbed my shoulders, forcing me to meet his gaze. "Lily, Pear, do you remember Blaze?" Sunlight crept into the ward, climbing onto the lower half of his face like a mask. The chiseled contours gradually awakened those distant memories in me. In high school, I was obsessed with motorcycles. In college, I went even crazier, participating in all kinds of races, whether mainstream or not, and gave myself the nickname Pear. But there was a legend in the scene called Blaze that always loomed over me. Back then, young and hot-headed, I refused to accept it. I vowed to take him down, to remove the mask from his face and show everyone how unsightly he really was. I spent every day searching for news about him, chasing after him whenever he appeared on any mountain. It's a pity I lost every time. I lost my maiden heart to him too, yet kept it carefully hidden, not daring to show it. Until one day, we raced on the most dangerous mountain curves. I decided that, win or lose, I would confess to him. But unfortunately, my motorcycle went out of control. To save me, he was slammed into the mountainside by my motorcycle. After that, I lost all news of him. All I heard was that his legs were crippled. Too guilty to mention this past, I avoided anything related to motorcycles. Crying again? "Lily, I remember you weren't this tearful before." Sean across from me reached out and brushed a finger across my face. But I just stared blankly at his legs. "Are you really Blaze? Your legs, they're healed?" He sighed helplessly. "Yes," he said. "They healed 6 years ago. I came back to find you, hoping you'd repay the favor, never thought you'd marry so early." "Fully recovered, how wonderful." I cried and laughed like a fool. After a long pause, he finally spoke with difficulty. "I already owe you my life once, and now my daughter owes you another, good heavens." The other day when I went to discuss the contract with him, I had to shamelessly pull strings just to secure the opportunity, all to pave the way for Jax. I was flattered that he agreed to meet me. Never did I expect it would turn out to be an old acquaintance. At this thought, I sighed again. "And you're still so wealthy, what could I possibly repay you with?" His flawlessly handsome face suddenly loomed closer to mine. "For saving your life, of course you should offer yourself in return. You're getting divorced anyway. 2 lives, marry me, and throw in a daughter as a bonus. That should even the score." I turned my head away in alarm. "Stop joking." He brought his face even closer. "I'm serious. Actually, on the day of the accident, I was planning to confess to you. I had it all planned out, to lose to you, then take off my mask and say I like you. Too bad it didn't work out in the end." You liked me back then too, right? The fondness of youth stirs the heartbeat of this moment, pounding so hard it burns my cheeks. Sean wasn't about to let me off the hook. Liking you used to be my reason for living. You have no idea how much I suffered just to stand before you again. I never thought that just coming back a few years late would mean you'd already married someone else. I'd already given up, but fate gave me another chance. I don't want to miss it again, Lily. Just as I was at a loss for how to respond, our daughter spoke up. He rushed to her hospital bed instantly, faster than I could. My adorable little princess, what can I do for you? His antics made her giggle endlessly. Ever since she woke up, our daughter had been gloomy, even asking me why her daddy didn't like her. I'm not the most emotionally intelligent, so I didn't know how to explain. Thankfully, Sean stayed by her side, telling her countless stories until she gradually brightened up. As I was lost in thought, my daughter grabbed my hand. Tilting her head to look at me, she said, "Mommy, Daddy likes brother Jim but doesn't like me. Can we not want him either? He always makes you angry and makes you cry, and often makes me very sad too. He's no good at all. Even if he says sorry, I won't forgive him. I like Uncle Sean. I agree to let him be my new daddy." She struggled to say this long speech. I don't know how long she'd been thinking about it to be able to articulate it so clearly. It broke my heart. As for Jax, I can't forgive him. So I certainly can't use blood ties to force her to forgive him either. We'll talk about the new daddy thing later. What's most important now is for you to recover quickly. As for your old daddy, we just don't want him anymore. I didn't opt for a divorce by agreement. Because I didn't want to see Jax, I chose to file a lawsuit instead. After that day, Sean accompanied our daughter through rehabilitation training every day. In the hospital, everyone praised me for finding such a good husband and our daughter for having such a wonderful father. Whenever he heard these compliments, he'd break into this ridiculously happy grin. And somehow, that exact expression quietly plucked at my heartstrings. Time flew by. Even though I knew Sean's intentions were clear, I couldn't bring myself to refuse him. Yet deep down, there remained tangled knots of unresolved emotions I couldn't quite let go of. 2 weeks later, our daughter was discharged from the hospital. Sean placed a pigeon egg-sized diamond ring before me. "Lily, I can wait until the day you're ready to accept me. I've already waited many years, what's a little longer?" Then he produced a surgical consent form. I froze. A vasectomy? When you said you were busy the other day, this is what you were doing? He nodded casually. Yeah, Ina is my real daughter. Then he tossed down stock transfer agreements, along with property deeds from various locations and bank cards. "Lily, I'm afraid you'll be too soft-hearted to divorce me. This is all my assets, please take them first. If you really don't divorce me, I'll stick to you and be your kept man." Our mischievous daughter waved her hands excitedly. "Mom, he's so sincere. I'll accept it for you." On the day of the divorce hearing, Jax was waiting by the roadside outside the courthouse early. "Lily, let's go home, okay? Everything at home remains the same. I know you still have feelings for me. I've already sued Sunny, the trial will be soon, and she'll get the punishment she deserves. No one will ever come between our marriage again. I'll also work hard to be a good father and husband, to make up for what I owe you and our daughter." Seeing how emaciated he had become, I found it somewhat frightening and took 2 steps back. "Jax, you've long been gone from my heart. Disappointment after disappointment wore away all my expectations of you. My love for you vanished the day you locked Ina in the car. That slap you gave me while protecting Sunny shattered everything I thought I knew about you. Actually, I knew he kept searching for me and our daughter. There were even times when I watched his retreating figure from the window. But every time I saw him, I couldn't help but recall the terror of nearly losing our child. Jax, not hating you has already taken every ounce of my strength. If it weren't for finalizing the divorce papers, I wouldn't even see you." He blinked hard, yet fat tears still rolled down. "It was just a moment of carelessness, no fundamental mistake was made. Can't we avoid divorce? If not for me, then for Ina's sake, give me one more chance? Before I could respond, our daughter approached in Sean's arms. No. No forgiveness, she declared, then planted a kiss on Sean's cheek as if seeking approval. Right, Daddy? Sean nodded vigorously, chiming in with agreement and showering her with praise. Jax forgot to even cry. His lips moved soundlessly for a long moment before he finally managed a stunned question. Ina, what did you just call him? Our daughter beamed. I called him Daddy. You can go be Jim's daddy instead. No matter how I called for you, you never came to save me. Then I'll find myself a new dad, a good dad who won't lock me in the car, a dad who'll come rescue me. The little one spoke slowly, thinking as he talked. Jax turned his head and asked me again, this is the real reason you divorced me, isn't it? You've been having an affair with him all along. I sneered coldly, not at all. Our relationship is completely clean, much cleaner than yours with Sunny. Besides, he and Ina are just close, that's why they seem even closer than blood relatives. Each boomerang of words struck him one after another. Finally, he felt the pain. But I couldn't be bothered with him anymore. The capital injections I'd given his company, the business connections I'd smoothed out for him, all had been severed. Sean had also made it clear he'd suppress him. His funding chain had long since broken. And my company, seizing the opportunity, had devoured all his business, without him even realizing it. How ridiculous. After a full decade together, from falling in love till now, neither he nor I ever truly knew each other. Jax, the trial is about to start. Let's go in. I tossed out the words and turned toward the courthouse. Sean and our daughter followed closely behind. Suddenly, a deafening crash erupted, followed by screams and chaos. I spun around only to collide with a solid chest. Sean pulled both me and our daughter into a tight embrace, shielding us completely. Don't look. It's bloody, it's Sunny. Curiosity got the better of me, and I peeked out. Sunny had already rammed her car into Jax, sending him crashing onto the sidewalk. Trying to send me to prison and ruin my life? I'll send you off first. Ha ha ha. Sean had mentioned before that both Sunny and her mother weren't quite right in the head. Not long ago, Jax had scoured every hospital searching for me and our daughter. When he couldn't find us, he locked Sunny and her mother inside their home. He barely fed them 3 meals a day, forcing them to kowtow before his dead brother's memorial instead. After hearing this, I sighed with mixed emotions. Jax had shifted all the blame onto others while absolving himself completely. After sighing, I fell into self-reproach. If only I had seen through him sooner and divorced him with our daughter, she wouldn't have suffered so much. Instead, my daughter comforted me, saying it didn't hurt and that I wasn't the one at fault. Sean even brought up the matter of assets again, urging me to hold tight to his lifeline so I'd always have the confidence to leave. My thoughts drifted far away. Don't look. Sean suddenly covered my eyes with his hand. I struggled to pull it away just in time to see several court security guards rushing out, pinning Sunny to the ground like slaughtering a pig during New Year festivities. Jax stood frozen, his gaze locked onto me and our daughter. Before the ambulance could arrive, he was already gone. The guards casually threw a piece of advertising paper over his face. Everything happened too fast, I hadn't even processed it. Sean immediately turned to the lawyer beside him and asked, "Widowed, no need for a divorce certificate now, right?" The lawyer dutifully replied, "According to the civil code, the marriage relationship of a person declared deceased is automatically dissolved from the date of the death declaration, without the need for divorce procedures. If a widow or widower wishes to remarry, they can bring relevant documents such as the spouse's death certificate to the Civil Affairs Bureau to complete the formalities." I was puzzled. Didn't Sunny not know how to drive? But then I thought, it had nothing to do with me anymore. Sunny was taken away on the spot. I entrusted Jax's funeral arrangements to my lawyer, keeping my daughter out of the entire process. Over a month later, I saw in the news that Sunny had been sentenced to death, and her son was sent to an orphanage. Good, let them continue their entanglement in the afterlife. As for me, after much pestering from my daughter, I reluctantly accepted Sean's marriage proposal. It's good too, after all these twists and turns, I've found the right person. Both my daughter and I are happier than before, and that's enough.